rest of this game, we have SHIN in the top left, PiG in the bottom right. They're playing as Zerg versus Zerg. SHIN was able to, of course, beat PiG in the previous game. And the winner here will go on to face Estrella. So PiG pretty deep into the tournament. Winner here is in semifinals. That's a round of 8 for PiG. Very nice, very nice. And yeah, ZVZ, you know, definitely a matchup where we watch that production tab quite a bit, right? It's like everything is super, super lined up on there for a long time. And we kind of wait and see if someone makes a bunch of lings. Stego Monday. Big shout out to Stego for keeping the tournaments going. Nice to have a little change and be able to cast this. And, well, it's ZVZ, so we wait a little bit. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're having a good time. A few things. Do use the command StarCraft 2 to follow the StarCraft 2 YouTube channel, as well as that's where like Battle Aces, Stormgate, Zero Space, stuff like that goes. I also use the command Mapu. Mapu's observing for us here today. He has a Twitch and a YouTube. You should check him out. He's putting a lot of work in. And yeah, thank you very much for tuning in. Make sure you follow the channel. You know, when the ESL Cups are going on, we were doing them every single week. Obviously, those have been canceled at this point. Still haven't really heard what the future of StarCraft 2 is going to look like. I would guess that it's going to be at EWC still. I would guess it's still going to have some tournaments, but probably a little bit lower scale than it was previous years. But we'll see about that. The community is still doing a lot to kind of keep it alive, which is nice and reassuring. Because, I mean, if you have grassroots esports working, that's something that doesn't ever have to go away, right? Budgets from developers and things like that, that's something that you don't really have any control over. Budgets from tournaments like ESL, not something you have ever any control over. But if people are just kind of putting up their money or donating or whatever it might be to get some tournaments together, you know, that's yeah, that type of grassroots thing can be really healthy. So yeah, and I definitely agree. I would love to see at some point StarCraft 2 remastered. Honestly, it doesn't feel like it needs a remastering. I wonder if they could do it like Brood War, where when they remaster it, they ruin the ladder so much that it makes everyone want to quit. That would be cool. Now... taking a look here, right? Pretty quick roach warren coming up from SHIN. PiG, on the other hand, going for a pretty quick lair. His own roach warren does get started here. Wonder if PiG is setting up for Mutalisks. Feels like it could be. Now, a few lings running by, they're going to see the roach warren finishing a bit before his. So that's definitely some worthwhile information that he's gained. What just happened there? I didn't see what that was. Did he just... Oh, I don't know. Oh, okay. So his... okay, the banelings just detonated on something that didn't really matter, I guess? Misclick, perhaps? I don't know. Two Banes. Oh, the two Banes hit the other two Banes. I get you. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I was wondering about that. Okay, thank you, Mapu. It was just barely off the screen, so I was like, I was wondering if they hit something stupid like a queen, but I didn't see a queen there, so I'm like, huh. Anyways, right now, the Spire does get started. Not a big surprise when you see someone get a layer that quickly. That might be something that they want to try. Ooh, not the greatest defense right there from PiG. Ooh, yeah, you do not want to let the lings in. If lings get in, he's going to figure out that you're going mutas much more easily. You do want the mutas to be a little bit of a surprise. Now, there's multiple ways you can go mutas. You know, and it's like you can go just a few mutas and kind of force your opponent to counter them and then just go heavily into roaches while they're doing that. Or you can actually go for a more dedicated Muta where you'll end up getting Baneling speed. You'll still make Lings. Sometimes you get some Zergling upgrades, things like that. We can't really tell right now which one Pig wants to do. My gut here is that he wants to go into heavy, heavy Roach after his initial group of Mutalisks. That's what it looks like to me right now. Now, the Overseer flies in and sees that Spire. It sees the additional gases being taken. So this is some great intel right now for SHIN. Hydralis Den gets started up. Small group of roaches being made, and there's your 5 mutas to start. And we'll see exactly how many mutas he wants to make. I actually prefer like the really heavy muta styles. I think those are really, really fun and make for a very dynamic game. Whereas if you just make a smaller group and then go mass roach, generally it turns into like a roach hydra against a roach ravager. And yeah, I don't know. It's just not quite as exciting in my opinion. Anyways, a couple of spines here really helping out on that defense. This was very light pressure from SHIN. This was not something that he had to have do damage. I think here he was trying to gauge how many mutas are being made, trying to make sure that some roaches were being made as well. And he's making a bunch of hydras at home. So from here, we're going to see what Pig does, right? He's making 12 drones, so he's going to catch up on that drone count. 4th hatchery on his 4th base. And yeah, it really looks to me like it's going to be mass roach. 3 overlords about to finish, and that's going to show us, right? Because he's up at 66 drones. Oh, Baneling speed. Okay, okay. So it might be Ling Bane Muta then. Much more of a fan. Much more of a fan. I actually really enjoy watching these two styles go at it. So here's what this basically can end up looking like if it is to work for Pig, okay? So if it's to work for Pig, what he wants to do is have the speed banes. Well, what can happen sometimes is what I should say, right? Because there's different situations that can occur. But like if you can roll in your speed banes from kind of a funny angle and catch some of the hydras, sometimes your mutas can jump on top of the rest that are damaged and whatnot and finish them off, and then you just kind of win the game. So that can be one way. You can do a more counterattack based approach as well. And with the amount that he's showing now, you might want to go for Infestation Pit. Oh, he actually just started Infestation Pit. SHIN did. Because, like, Fungal can really hard counter this type of strategy sometimes, too. Vipers may be even better, but, you know, you need the Infestation Pit for that anyways. And don't forget, right now, the current state of the Infestor, it pops out with that pathogen glands kind of, like, already there. So right now, those mutas just flying around for Pig. He's looking for a bit of damage. Going to pick off a few overlords. Big counterattack coming towards his 3rd base. Now, that's not something you're going to stop very easily. That's for sure. He has a few speed banes in here. He has a few roaches that are just going to get eaten alive. Bringing his Mutalisks back. Now, you got to keep the roach wall. This is an important thing. The roach wall will prevent the banelings or lessen what the banelings can do. Now, the muta's catching some of these reinforcements. This is really good. This is really good what Pig is doing here. Now, obviously, he lost a base, so that's not really good. But you can see him getting some high-value moves here. Now, Roach is counterattacking. Yeah, you can really feel that SHIN... Like, Pig has very many good ideas. But SHIN is just playing, like, very, very decisively, making good quality moves overall. And Pig's having a hard time dealing with them all. And you can see the amount of mutas he has doing a great job here. By the way, burrow movement coming up for those roaches. 4 infestors. If he can get a good fungal off with his hydras being nearby, and of course you can chain those fungals as well, the mutas of Pig are going to have a hard time then. Now, sometimes this type of strategy can actually go into ultras for Pig. We don't really see that as of yet. But, you know, like, for instance, fungal roaches, they don't do anything against that. So just something to keep in mind. SHIN right now at a healthy 71 drones. Looking very, very strong. Massive, massive tech for him as well. +2 melee, as well as +2 muta attack coming up for Pig. And again, he has to be very careful here. Those infestors are looking for a fungal. Okay, he gets one, but it's not the greatest. Good splits. Yeah, he's going to lose like an Overseer and 2 Mutas, but that's actually about... It used 2 Fungals, and he knows that the Fungals are there now. So that's when you start utilizing your Mutalisks a little bit different. So that was not bad for Pig. In fact, I would even say that was good for Pig. Just that was not a very steep price to really realize what's going on completely. Oh, that's funny. He did lose his Overseer, remember? The Overseer got hit by the Fungal, and now he's having a hard time against Burrow Movement Roaches. That's so annoying. That is so annoying for Pig. Now, he is getting some Overseers out to help out with this, but he is taking drone damage. That is... Oh, man. Shin is just all over the place. All right, so, yeah, I mean, he's still trying to clear this out. I think Shin is just going to walk him over now. Pig is way down in supply. He doesn't really have the right units. The Fungals going down on the Lings is kind of funny. And you can see, well, hold on. Hold the phone. Look at this. Little Mr. Pig here, clearing all the Hydras. He'll definitely be able to kill off the rest of these Burrow Movement Roaches. That was actually pretty damn good from Pig. The full surround he was going for was definitely an excellent choice. Now that being said, definitely some damage has been dealt. Pig's drone count needs to be rebuilt a bit. He actually does get some counter harassment with his own Bane, so that's nice. Yeah, these Burrow Movement Roaches, I love the way that he's burrowing them and just sending them all off into different directions. Now, Pig is getting more efficient at cleaning those up, so that's nice. I like that kind of spread crawler defense as well. That's cool. And some Lurkers coming out. Once you get a decent amount of Lurkers, the Banelings are going to have a really terrible time, and the Zerglings are going to have a really terrible time actually finding the damage that they're looking for. Just going to evaporate as they move forward. Now, what is Pig's next move here? Still just trying to clean some of this up. All right, does get it. So a little bit of quietness now. Looks like Muta's going to fly into the main base here. One roach. Single roach in there. So the Muta's, he's looking to kind of come in from funny angles and get some damage. You see he's setting up a lot of Banes there as well. Actually, if he can dive in and snipe the Lurkers, like there's one Lurker, I believe, up to the north part of that third base area where he's got the Banelings right outside. If he could snipe that, the Banes could actually do a lot, but with the Lurker there... Oh, it's 2 Lurkers. Yeah, see? What can you do? That's... I mean... That's... that happens sometimes. Another good dodge on the Fungals. Doesn't even lose a single Muta. Nice. Pig has put out a nice quality game. And he's actually taking more bases during all of this as well. Moving in and taking out some of this building static D in the main. I like the ideas here again from Pig. Trying to be careful around those spores. Ooh, the Viper's out now. I mean, Parasitic Bomb against a clump of mutas is so brutal. I do hope that Pig instantly goes into Ultralisk Cavern. I think if he goes into Ultralisk Cavern instantly and he does not die right away, like, I could see him coming back and winning this game. Now, this is very, very sad. Okay, gets like 10 drones there and the hatch. Holy crap. That's kind of insane. Excuse me. 29 mutas going down. And there's that cavern. Dude. Pig's a killer, man. Kills another base there. Now, there is a counterattack. He is taking some damage. The counterattack going on, though. That's an overall much better army than anything Pig has. But Pig is kind of all over the place. He's kind of spread out right now. Ultralisk Cavern going to be very, very important here to spend his bank. And look at this. SHIN has almost nothing left over. A million drones being sent up to that top right. So both sides are like down to almost no mining right now. This base going to be picked off, it looks like. SHIN re-expanding. Dude, the little group of mutas is actually killing right now as well. That's amazing. Okay, 2 of his ultras were actually in eggs there, so that's going to be 2 ultras dead, unfortunately. Not the greatest place to create some units right there. That sucks. Like, 2 more ultras makes a big, big difference. Getting that adrenal gland as well. I'm not sure how many lings he's going to be able to produce, though. This feels like it's one of those games where you're going to have an almost pure ultra army. We don't see chitinous plating. So that's a little bit rough, but chitinous is not, like, the end-all, be-all against the comp he's against. Okay, so Pig is re-expanding to his 3rd. Little bit of minerals left in main and natural. SHIN here re-expanding to his 4th. Almost no minerals left anywhere. Very, very low, but a little tiny bit it looks like. That is a lot of lurkers. The lurkers might end up just popping these ultras. We're going to have to see what type of angles they're fighting at. Don't forget, fungal does not stop the ultras from moving. They actually gave that a name, like Frenzy or something? I forget. Was that the baneling nest that he killed? It's a little bit painful if that's the case. Okay, that, you can't attack that. You cannot attack that with your ultras. He's going to. I think he thinks he's further behind than he is. Yeah, the fungal goes on and it deals a little bit of damage, but it doesn't do that much. So, I like the idea of Blinding Cloud, but yeah, as you saw, like, you can't attack into that. The ultras should have run around and counterattacked other locations. So I think SHIN just straight wins from here. There's just not very much left over. The ultras just were super, super wasted, unfortunately. And now Pig almost not mining. Trying to pick off a few more buildings, I think, before he goes out. Well, one ultra harass. GG, well played. All right, actually a pretty darn good game. I enjoyed that one.